Wow, what a song. That song just gave me goose pimples. It was so beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you for whoever brought it. Just absolutely beautiful. Um, all right, let's begin. Life is unfair. I lost my car keys at a ball game and never found them. I lost my sunglasses at the beach and never found them. I lost my socks in the washing machine and never found them. I lost 3 pounds on a diet. I found them and 5 more. Have you heard this one? Some minds are like concrete, thoroughly mixed up and permanently set. In our reading today, the proverb reads, there's a time to laugh and a time to weep. And as of late, far too many of us have been weeping or have felt like weeping for too long. I must admit, there is a great deal that I miss about my pre-pandemic life. Most people would say that they miss going to their favorite places, meeting with dear friends and family, and even the casual meetings of strangers. In the South, we pride ourselves on our Southern hospitality, our family reunions, our community get-togethers, and other public events. We miss the normalcy of talking to a neighbor across the fence, the shaking of hands, the gentle embrace and hugs, and the warm smiles. While these things are indeed greatly missed, some have said that what they miss most of all is laughter, wholesome, joyful, healing laughter. Some wonder if we will ever be able to truly laugh again. During our time together, I want to encourage us all to explore what it will take for us to experience genuine laughter again. Today, people are melancholy, and some may feel hopeful that at some point things will get better, but many of us feel that things will likely continue to deteriorate in our nation. People are reluctant to make long-term plans, and the plans they do make, they do so under a cloud of uncertainty. With the senseless and racist actions of politicians, public figures, and regular people, the protest against police brutality, and the struggles for justice, in addition to the COVID-19 fears and reality, the world is in a sad shape. What we see yet coming doesn't bode well for the mental and emotional health of many of the world's citizens. I had someone say to me recently, how can I laugh when I feel like crying? What's funny about anything that's going on in the world today? Even the former First Lady, Michelle Obama, confessed that recently she has had a mild bout of depression as a result of the things that are happening in our nation. Things have been so tense in our world. When we do find the strength or occasion to laugh, laughter seems disconcerting, out of place, and even forced. So there's the question. What is there to laugh about? Yes, we may get a laugh or two watching the late night funny men who prod us to laugh with their off-putting jokes, usually at the expense of some human failing or mishap. But this is not necessarily the kind of laughter that is sustaining for our lives. Some people are finding strange reasons to laugh. Some have been expressing joy and laughter at another's folly, even laughing at the death of someone who died of COVID-19. I have witnessed people expressing joy when someone who may have openly resisted mask wearing then dies after contracting the virus. Totally disregarding that person's struggle with the deadly illness and the aftermath for the family, thinking that the carelessness of their words and deeds are somehow deservingly equal to their deaths. Such would normally bring most of us to tears. But now for some, such can create a sense of pleasurable satisfaction. Author and humorist James Thurber wrote, "The laughter of man is more terrible than his tears and takes more forms, hollow, heartless, mirthless, maniacal," end quote. And this too is not the kind of wholesome and healing laughter the world needs. Laughter that is replaced with sarcasm and pessimism is broken and injurious. Genuine and hearty laughter is the home of kindness and content. When true joy of the heart is absent, our laughter can come across as callous and mean-spirited. There will always be the type of people who would rather laugh at you than with you. They find great pleasure with you being the butt of the joke, but no one enjoys being laughed at because it diminishes one's humanity. It can injure one's sense of self-worth and value. Oscar Wilde wrote, "Laughter is not at all a bad beginning for a friendship, and it is far the best ending for one." And when two people share a chuckle, there's potential for bonding, for friendship, and for more. The eminent psychologist on laughter, Dr. Robert Provine of the University of Maryland, agrees that laughter isn't really about humor. He contends that it's more about relationships. Cutting edge humor straight out of Comedy Central is great, but people actually laugh more in conversation and through interaction. There, we can experience interactions that can result in emotionally strong connections and lasting friendships. Khalil Gibran wrote, "In the sweetness of friendship, let there be laughter and sharing of pleasures. For in the dew of little things, the heart finds its morning and is refreshed." Laughter may have evolved to facilitate bonding across large groups of people. In primates, the grooming process releases chemicals that help build social bonds. Humans eventually came to live in groups that were larger than the grooming process allowed. Laughter, as well as speech, enables us to bond quickly and easily with a large group. So now I have this image in my head. Now, how many of us remember Mama using her spittle to wash sleep from her eyes and whatnot? Well, that's part of the grooming process. I remember when I was a kid and my grandmother, who happened to be a large woman, wanted me to lotion what I call her crusty feet because she couldn't reach them. And boy, I hated it. She would say, "Okay, baby, get between the toes." Oh, I'm still traumatized by that. But she's long gone now. And how I wish now in my adult age that I could just but lotion her feet one more time. Even ancient people knew the medicinal benefits of laughter. Proverbs 17:22 reads, "Laughter does good like a medicine." True, we now know that bouts of laughter can release endorphins that help to boost the immune system, relax muscles, increase blood flow, lower anxiety, improve the mood, and laughter can also foster mental and physical resilience. Our laughter is one of the distinguishing features that make us uniquely human. And although there is not much known about the mechanisms behind it, laughter might be the most contagious of all human emotions and experiences. One person laughs and the next person does the same, even if the joke isn't that funny. When it comes to relationships, laughter is pivotal. Show me any relationship devoid of laughter and I will show you a relationship in trouble. And I do relationship counseling. This I know. There's plenty of evidence showing how being funny makes a person more attractive. Okay, then now. Laura Kurtz, a social psychologist from the University of North Carolina, has long been fascinated by the idea of shared laughter in romantic relationships. She says, "We can all think of a time when we were laughing and the person next to us just sat there totally silent. She says, all of a sudden that one moment takes a nosedive. We wonder why the other person isn't laughing. What's wrong with them? Or maybe what's wrong with us? And what might that mean for our relationship?" People in relationships where they cannot laugh together will find it difficult to live together. I know this all too well. Often D will try to tell me a funny joke, and it's not funny to me at all. He's there with his belly rolling laughter, and I'm sitting stone-faced. I'm now realizing that it's not about whether the joke is funny or not. It's about my willingness to just sit and laugh with him. Because there's been times when we so desperately needed this medicine in our relationship. Now we're doing quite well now, no problems there. But there were definitely seasons where we needed laughter. A little anecdotal story for you. You may not know this, but as a person of color, many of us do use a great deal of body creams and lotions, especially after showering and perhaps throughout the day. I remember once I had bought this really heavy Dove lotion. I was elated to finally find a heavy non-oily lotion. I had been using it for about a month before my skin started to get black patches, which I later discovered were actual burns. I was itching all over like with an allergic reaction. It was so severe that I was telling Dee that I may need to go to the ER. He asked if anything had changed with my hygiene process. Then I recalled I did start using this new body lotion. So I went into the bathroom to check to see if there was any ingredients in the lotion that would cause such a reaction. I looked on the bottle, and sure enough, yes, there it was. The bottle read body wash. Yeah, body wash. I was so distraught and embarrassed that I had been applying body wash after I got out of the shower for an entire month. Dee looked worried. It was only when I began to laugh at the situation that he just let it out. In his belly roll, he stated, "I'm not laughing at you, I'm laughing with you." But then he took it even further, saying, "I'm glad you didn't get caught in the rain. You might have washed away." We laugh about that to this day. Our reading today says, "For everything there is a season, a time for every matter under heaven, a time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to pluck up what was planted, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to break down, and a time to build up, a time to weep, a time to laugh, a time to mourn, a time to dance, a time to throw away stones, a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace, a time to refrain from embracing, a time to seek, a time to lose, a time to keep, a time to throw away, a time to tear, a time to sow, a time to keep silence, and a time to speak, a time to love, and a time to hate." We know well the times and the seasons for our expressions. We know that it is never appropriate to laugh at the death of anyone. But it is also important, however, for us to know what season we are in. And while this may truly be a difficult season for many of us, I don't think that it is one that should be devoid of laughter. True, many of us are hurting and are worried about the state of things, and the pandemic is certainly creating havoc with how we relate to one another. But we still have so much to be thankful for, so much that brings us joy. My sermon today is a simple one, not convoluted with deep issues, concepts, and ideas. It is a simple call, perhaps, for us to go back to some place in our lives when we allow laughter to forge relationships, to create opportunities for bonding, even with strangers, and to heal a conflicted relationship. You see, I don't think that what we are dealing with in our nation is something too deep or so far away for us to find a way to heal that which ails us. I invite you to take a simple examination of your life of laughter. When was the last time you wholeheartedly laughed, not at someone, but with someone? Do you need to laugh more in your life? What are some immediate steps you and I can take to create more laughter in our lives? I have a few for you. Number one, be intentional about laughing more. Make a resolution or set the intent of laughing heartily as often as you can. Setting a goal to laugh more is as important as setting the goals to get more exercise, eating healthier, and drinking more water. Tell yourself, I resolve to laugh more. Number two, smile more. Yes, I know smiling is not laughing, however, but smiling also has a myriad of benefits. When you smile, happy changes begin to take place automatically, both internally and externally. In addition, you can think of smiling as a warm-up for laughing. One way to remember to smile more is to have smiling cues sprinkled throughout your day. There's a number of ways to do this, including getting yourself a coffee mug that makes you smile. That way, every time you get yourself a cup of coffee, you're reminded to smile. Also, you can put Post-it notes all out through your house. I've done this before. Number 3, start a joke jar. Get your whole family to laugh more by starting a joke jar. Find a nice jar and some scraps of paper, find some funny jokes and write them down or print them out on the computer. Ask your family members to do the same. Put the scraps of paper with the jokes written on them into the jar. At dinner time, have someone reach into the jar and just read them out loud. Number 4, read the funnies or follow a funny sitcom. If you're one of these people who still reads the newspaper offline, don't skip the funnies. After reading about everything that's going wrong in the world, a little levity will do us good. Although some would advocate for watching less TV so that one has more time to read or work on projects that are important to them, I'm not one of those people who argue that you shouldn't watch any TV. Just make sure that you're watching shows that you really enjoy. Specifically, try limiting your TV viewing to shows that make you think and shows that make you laugh. Number 5, try laughter meditation. There are many different meditation practices that you can try. And you know how to meditate, most of you. Find a comfortable place to sit. Bring your attention to your breath and release all tension from your body. Bring up an image of something that you find really funny. Once you have that feeling of laughter, spread it throughout your body from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. Bring up another image that makes you laugh. Continue spreading that feeling, those feelings of laughter throughout your body. Great exercise. And finally, 6, learn to laugh at yourself. Most of us take ourselves far too seriously, which limits our ability to find the humor in difficult situations. In addition, it can make us uptight and overly sensitive to what other people may be thinking of us. Learning to laugh at ourselves takes some of the pressure off, and it will also allow us to be more authentic and vulnerable, both of which are desirable character traits. At this time, Dimitri is going to play a video, and we'll come back in just a second.
Stand by. Action.
Stop sharing. And may it be so. May it be so. Beautiful. Thank you.